Hello everyone, welcome along. Making sure my mic was unmuted then. It is Friday the 25th of January, or episode 15 of JDQ, and the end of week 3 as well. So thank you very much for joining me today and all week and since the beginning, if that's where you have been. So thank you so much for playing along and being a part of this new journey. 5 questions, 5 new questions again for you today, and another tiebreaker as well. Do you know, I'm having quite a lot of fun with these tiebreakers, because as you've probably noticed, there is a slight pattern with the tiebreakers. I tend to link it into one of the 5 questions in the day, and then it's quite great going through and trying to find a number question based off of one of the questions that I've asked in the quiz. So yeah, a lot of fun putting those tiebreakers together, even if it is hard to write a 5-question quiz and balance it out. But today I've got some TV in there for you. There's a flag question, but don't worry, it's not a country flag question. That'll confuse you all, but it'll make sense in a bit. I've got another music related question, but it's not a song. I really should have put a song in to finish this week, but never mind. So a music question for you, something about aeroplanes as well, and an instrument question to finish off. But as always, don't forget to continue sharing your scores and everything as well over on my social media platforms until I get the website up and running. Just looking through some of the scores and people who have commented. Their scores. Hello to Christine Porter in Brandninch in Devon. So hello to you. Hello to Carolyn, who's in Bourne, Lincolnshire. So hello to you as well. Who else have we got in there? There's Liam in Chesterfield. Rod as well. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, etc. to all of you. So thank you so much for playing along. There was a question actually in my Patreon Discord server that asked, are we doing half marks? Well, the Radio 2 controversy of me giving a half mark to Richie Anderson, which meant he won a quiz a while back, it did cause massive controversy. I'm not personally, and when the website's up and running, there's no half marks. It's either in or out, basically. Because it will just confuse the website if there's half marks in. But if you're just playing for fun with friends and family and you want to, you can justify the half mark, it's absolutely fine. For the most part, I ask the questions, give you the answers. The marking and stuff is down to you guys, because I can't referee everybody's quiz and how they're playing. Otherwise, I'd still be doing the first quiz now, going through them all. So yeah, it's entirely up to you how you do mark them, but when the website's up and running, no half marks, I'm afraid. But on that note, let's get into today's quiz. 5 questions for you, starting with this for number 1. So who was the original presenter of Art Attack? This is an Art Attack. This is an Art Attack. This is Art Attack. But yeah, who was the original presenter of Art Attack? They don't make TV shows like this anymore. I'm 42 and sounding very grumpy and old, but they don't make TV shows like this anymore. Number 2 for you today. The practice of spelling out letters with flags is known by what name? So the practice of spelling out letters with flags is known by what name? Number 3, Robson Green, together with which actor, released a cover of Unchained Melody? So Robson Green, together with which other actor, released a cover of Unchained Melody? I mean, that might get stuck in your head today. Ooh, my love, my darling. I don't know what accent that was for darling. Got American. Number 4, which supersonic aircraft had its maiden flight on the 2nd of March 1969? So which supersonic aircraft had its maiden flight on the 2nd of March 1969? Saw it many times, never boarded it, never saw the inside. But finally, your question for today, the final question of the week as well. Which family of instruments does the saxophone belong to? Is it the brass, woodwind, or percussion? It's a word I've never really... Percussion? Yeah, percussion. Okay, so there we go. That is all of your questions then for today. Answers coming up in just a moment's time after the countdown. So make sure you've got them locked in however you're keeping watch on your scores. I have no idea. But yeah, make sure you've got them locked in. No time to, after the countdown, there'll be no time to change them. So, Dave, I need to think of a better name. But Dave, take it away.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Okay, so let's see how you did then with your 5 questions today. Started off today with number 1. Who was the original presenter of Art Attack? It was Neil Buchanan. This is an Art Attack. Number 2, the practice of spelling out letters with flags is known as semaphore. Number 3, Robson Green, together with which other actor, released a cover of Unchained Melody? It was Jerome Flynn, back in their Soldier days. And then, was it, I can't remember the complete story. I think, was it not, did they not sing it in the show and then everyone was clamoring for it to be released, so they released it and then it went storming to number 1? Whichever way, it was a brilliant cover. And number 4, which supersonic aircraft had its maiden flight on the 2nd of March 1969? It was Concorde. I remember growing up as a kid in Wimbledon in South London. We were under the sort of flight path into Heathrow. We always knew it was 6 o'clock when you heard Concorde rumbling over. And finally, number 5, which family of instruments does the saxophone belong to? It is the woodwind, because it has a reed, so it makes it a woodwind instrument. Yeah. No, I'm sticking with woodwind. It's fine. I know it's going to open a debate, I think, but I'm sticking with woodwind. That's the answer that I got online when I wrote the question, so I'm sticking with woodwind. It is my final answer. But there we go. That's your 5 questions and the answers for today. So tot them up. How have you done? Don't forget to let me know across the social media platforms and in the comments, etc. But your tie-breaking question then for today is this. How many seats were available to buy on Concorde in its high-density layout? I don't know what the high density layout means, whether it means like strapping people to the roof or what have you, I don't know. Maybe it's like the Ryanair where they, upright beds or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, how many seats were available to buy on Concorde in its high density layout? As always, nearest to it gets the point if you're competing against others. If not, and playing for fun, well, it's just there. So, okay, so lock your answer in, because there were 128, which is what made it kind of exclusive, really. There were only a handful of Concordes in the world, and there were never many seats available on them, which is why it was so expensive. Plus, it got you to New York in 2.5. Was it 2.5 hours? I think it was. But yeah, never had. I've seen Concorde many times, but never actually had the sort of privilege to see inside of Concorde. But there we go. That is all of your questions and all of your answers, not just for today, but for week 3 of JDQ. So thank you so much for being with me this week. Let me know your scores. However you got on, doesn't matter if you got 1 out of 5, doesn't matter if you got 5 out of 5. Do share those scores, because it does help me sort of look at how well the quizzes have gone this week and if they've been too hard, too easy, etc. So do share those scores with me. There'll be a post available on all of my social platforms on Instagram and Facebook. I've not been on TikTok, but judging by what I've been reading in the media as I record this, TikTok might not exist anymore. Well, definitely not in the US. But yeah, I've not got a presence on TikTok, but I'm on Instagram and Facebook. So share your scores on there. That is it then for me for week 3 of JDQ. Thank you so much for being here this week. I will see you next week, or you will hear me next week. Yeah. Something along those lines. But yeah, back next week with another 25 questions, another load of different categories, probably some songs and some fun along the way. As always, for me, I'll see you soon. Take care and stay safe.